All right, Jess, how do you deal with living with someone who literally practices for the whole 5 years we've been together, spends a lot of time practicing and singing and stuff around the house and like teaching and doing lessons? So how do you deal with it?
I don't. No, I just try to remember that that's what you're passionate about. So I wouldn't want to stop you from doing what you're passionate about. And we find strategies of how to deal with it. But it is hard, yeah.
What's hard about it? What's a strategy that we've gotten, that we've made so that we can deal with it better?
Oh, well, if you're organized with your schedule, with what you're doing, or you'll fit it in just before we go out. And I find ways to work around your schedule with what I'm doing. We try and make a time so that it fits with our lifestyle, like you'll do it in the morning. I ask you not to do any lessons while we're away, which I don't usually ask.
She doesn't hate you, my students.
I just wanted to have like a holiday, not thinking about that stuff.
It's just because like for scheduling, like because when we're at home, what's helped is just being really clear with communication. So she's asked me, she'll see me like I'll go in my room and do lessons with people online for a few hours, 2 or 3 hours or something, and she'll be like, didn't know that I was gonna do that. So what did you ask me to do to make that feel better?
Oh, just to give me a like more clear idea of what your schedule is, so we can plan our day. That's the main thing. Because if we want to do something like go to the beach or like day activities, it can get frustrating if I don't know.
So it's really good, like in a relationship, just to have clearer communication. Like I can't just be, right before the lessons start, I'll be like, oh, by the way, babe, I've got like 3 hours of lessons. And sometimes I'll have lessons and I'll go overtime with people just because some of my students are heaps chatty and fun and stuff. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm going to be a half hour, and then I'll be like an hour.
Oh, wait, the other thing is probably that I actually get involved in it. Like, you talk to me about it, so I actually know what you're doing and everything. So I understand why. I understand your purpose. That's why I was saying, like, I won't stop you from doing it, because that's your passion.
Yeah. That's another important thing in a relationship. Like
I take interest in what you're doing. Well, I actually like learn to sing as well, even though I have my own hobbies. Like I take interest to understand your theories and everything and why you do it, and the singing world a little bit as well. Like I don't do it as in depth as you, but I learn it enough to know like what it's about and experience it by actually doing lessons with you to see why it's good and everything, like why it's a good strategy or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, like your idea about what you do. It's nice. I get why you're passionate about it then. So I might get frustrated at times, but I try and push that feeling away because I know you have a good purpose of why you're doing it. I think you have a good product, you could say, that you're providing to people.
Yeah,
it's a useful product, so why would I stop you? Yeah.
Yeah, Jess loves singing too. She's just not as intense as me, but so she'll do a lesson once or twice a month, something like that, and that's good for her. She's just learning at a slow pace. But yeah, everyone's different with the level that they want to do something.
And that probably helps. That probably helps because I actually like singing. But I just don't feel like going as much depth as you do about it. Because I'm not as passionate in that way about that side of it, the teaching. But I like teaching too, I guess, so that might be why too.
Yeah.
I like learning strategies because I work with kids anyway.
So sometimes I'll get too technical about things that I'm discovering about teaching or about singing, and it might be too much for Jess because she'll just be like, oh, like, I don't want to go that in depth. She will occasionally though. But yeah, I have to find like other people that are more interested that I talk with about that. So it's also about realizing, your partner or whoever you hang around, what kind of things they're into, and it doesn't always have to be the people that are around you that love everything. Sometimes you need to find the right kind of people for the right kind of topics to hang around with and to talk about. But we just develop strategies so that you can get along, because you both want to do hobbies. Like she does dancing, she does dance lessons, She hasn't been doing it lately, but she had a few years where she did that in our relationship, and it's good. Like I used to go along with her and wait for her outside the lessons and keep myself busy. So it's good to sort of have ways to keep the relationship going, but keep your own self needs and not let them go. Like to keep who you are, because you don't want to be in a relationship and then you're sort of like, oh, my partner doesn't like it when I go and practice, or my partner doesn't like it when I go to this dance class or something. So then they quit. But that would suck, because it's sort of like you're pulling your partner away from that.
I think it helps if you have a kind of schedule of what you're doing, so you can figure out how to work around each other, and to try and be flexible. Like, don't be stubborn and say, this is what I'm doing and that's it. Like, you should be stubborn about, this is what I love and I'm going to do it. But you should find ways to be flexible, because you're like, we're together. Yeah,
and you can't go overboard. Like, I can't be like, oh, I'm going to do 20 hours a week of lessons and practice, and that's 20 hours that I'm not spending with you. So it's got to be like a reasonable time, amount of time that you spend.
One week I might say, yeah, go, because I might not need you as much because I'm busy with something.
But realistically, like, I'll probably teach a couple hours a week. But, you know, if I doubled it, what would happen? Like, the lifestyle would really change.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and you like fit in, you fit in lessons before we go out and stuff like that too sometimes. So that's good. It doesn't feel like it affects our activities. Sometimes, like, if we're going to go out during the weekdays, you might do like a lesson before we go. So it's only like an hour, and I can do whatever. And we still have a whole afternoon.
Yeah, and like I'll spread out the lessons throughout the week. Spread out the practice. Sometimes I try to do practice like when I'm not around Jess, so that she doesn't get bothered too much. So like I'll do it. I'll do it on my way walking to work, or I'll do it when I'm at work on my break or something like that. Yeah. All right, we gotta go because our boat's just docked. We were just watching dolphins, and that was really cool. I'm Rashid Hayek. This is
Jessica
Poiley, and rnbsinginglessons.com if you guys want lessons. See you next time. Bye.